Migrant Mother, 1936. This famous photograph is Syrian in its depiction of the utter desperation. This one was of the many migrant workers picking peas in California in the 1930s to make just enough money to survive. The Dust Bowl, hot and dry weather over several years brought dust storms that devastated the Great Plains state, and they came to be known as the Dust Bowl. Farms for sale, the drought, dust storms, and boll whales that attacked southern crops in the 1930s all worked together to destroy farms and thaws. Many were forced to sell the land and find another way of life.
Our team did our best to make this video interesting for you guys. We'd appreciate your likes and subscribe. Enjoy!
Relocating. On the road, the vast migration that occurred as a result of the Dust Bowl in the Great Plains and the farm forest killers of the Midwest has been dramatized in movies and books. The unemployed. In 1929, before a crash of the stock market that marked the beginning of Great Depression, the unemployment rate in the United States was 3.14%. Bread lines and soup kitchens. Because so many were unemployed, charitable organizations opened soup kitchens and bread lines to feed many hungry families brought to their knees by the Great Depression. Civilian Conservation Corps. The Civilian Conservation Corps was part of an FDR's New Deal. It was formed in March 1933 and promoted environmental conservation as it gave work and meaning to many who were unemployed. Two children seated on a porch in Arkansas. Two children sharecroppers, even before the Great Depression, often found it difficult to earn enough money to feed their children. When the Great Depression hit, this became worse. Wife and children of a sharecropper. At the beginning of the 1930s, many lived in the South, were tenant farmers known as sharecroppers. These families lived in very poor conditions, working hard on the land but only receiving a meager share on the farm's profits. A one-room schoolhouse. In the South, some children of sharecroppers were able to predominantly attend school, but often had to walk several miles each way to get there. A young girl making supper. For most sharecropping families, however, education was a luxury. Adults and children alike were needed to make the household function, with children working alongside their parents both inside the house and out in the fields. Christmas dinner. For sharecroppers, Christmas did not mean lots of decoration, twinkling lights, large trees, or huge meals. This family shares a simple meal together, happy to have food. Dust storm in Oklahoma. Life changed drastically for farmers in the South during the Great Depression. A decade of drought and erosion from over farming led to huge dust storms that ravaged the Great Plains, destroying farms. A man standing in a dust storm. The dust storms filled the air, making it hard to breathe, and destroyed what few crops existed. These dust storms turned the area into a dust bowl. Migrant worker walking alone in a California highway with their farms gone. Some men struck out alone in the hopes that they could be somehow find somewhere that would offer them a job. A homeless tenant farmer. Family walking along a road. While some men went out alone, others traveled with their entire families. With no home and no work, these families packed only what they could carry and hit the road. packed and ready for the long trip to California. Those fortunate enough to have car would pack everything they could fit inside and head west, hoping to find a job in the farms of California. Migrants living out of their car. Having left their dying farms behind, these farmers are now migrants, driving up and down California searching for work. Living out of their car, this family hopes to soon find work that will sustain them. Temporary housing for migrant workers. Some migrant workers used their cars to expand their temporary shelters during the Great Depression. Arkansas squatter near Bakersfield, California. Some migrant workers made more permanent housing for themselves out of cardboard, sheet metal, wood scarps, sheets, and any other items that could scavenge. A migrant worker standing next to his lean-to temporary housing came in many different forms. This migrant worker has a simple structure made mostly from sticks to help protect his from the elements while sleeping. An 18-year-old mother from Oklahoma, now a migrant worker in California. Life as a migrant worker in California during the Great Depression was hard and rough. Never enough to eat, and though competition for every potential job. A young girl standing next to an outdoor stove. Migrant workers lived in their temporary shelters, cooking and washing there as well. This little girl is standing next to an outdoor stove, a pail, and other household supplies. A view of Hooverville. Collections of temporary housing structures such as these are usually called shinetowns, but during the Great Depression they were given the nickname Hoovervilles after President Herbert Hoover. Bread lines in New York City. Large cities were not immune to the hardship and struggles of the Great Depression. Many people lost their jobs and, unable to feed themselves or their families, stood in long bread lines. Men laying down at the New York docks, sometimes without food, a home, or the prospect of a job. A tired man might just lay down and ponder what lay ahead.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next video.